Hi, my name is Gabriela, and I'm a specialist doctor in alcoholism. You're probably asking, what's an alcohol abuse disorder? Well, let's begin this journey. Follow me. Alcoholism is a broad term for problems with alcohol, and it's generally used to mean compulsive and uncontrolled consumption of it, usually to the detriment of the drinker's health, personal relationships, and social standing. It is medically concerned an addictive illness. But the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence and the American Society of Addiction Medicine agreed to define alcoholism as a primary chronic disease with genetic, psychological, and environmental factors influencing its development and manifestations. The disease is often progressive and fatal. It is characterized by impaired control over drinking, preoccupation with the drug alcohol, use of alcohol despite adverse consequences, and distortion in thinking, most notably denial. Each of these symptoms may be continuous or periodic.
Thanks for that super complete analysis of the issue of alcoholism, Gabby. I'm sure most of you are wondering since when this exists or even who created this problem. And even though the reason I'm here is to actually answer that question, I can't really tell you specifically who created it. But something I can tell you is which civilization started with the alcohol. Let's start by saying that Egyptian civilizations have been using fermented grain used for honey for thousands of years in order to make alcohol or ethanol. In case you don't know what ethanol is, I'll tell you that it is in fact a combustible clear liquid which is produced by the fermentation of sugar contained in crops, such as sugarcane, soybeans, and corn. And same happened with the Greeks. In fact, their first beverages to gain popularity was the mead, which was a fermented drink made out of honey and water. Therefore, the theory goes, alcoholism as a disease resulted because the human genome has not had enough time to fully adapt to alcohol. Another model suggests that human ancestors began consuming alcohol as early as 80 million years ago, when early primates occasionally ate rotten fermented fruit rich in ethanol. So yes, we could say that alcoholism has existed since alcohol itself has. Because if we speak in a superficial and easy way, the disease is caused by the excess of those kind of drinks. However, the concept of alcoholism is relatively new, and it was first mentioned in 1949 by Magnus Haas.
So let's talk about the symptoms. Alcohol use disorder can be mild, moderate, or severe, depending on how many symptoms you have. Signs of symptoms may include the following: inability to limit the amount of alcohol you consume, failure to perform important obligations at work, school, or home, the reduction of social or work activities and hobbies, development to tolerance of alcohol, so that you need more to feel this effect, or have reduced effect by the same amount. Well, also the treatment, one of the principal treatments are the therapies, medicines, and abstinence. Well, the abstinence consists of stop drinking alcohol. Withdrawal symptoms usually appear with 8 hours after the last drink, but also can occur days later, and they usually peak into 24 hours to 72 hours, but also can continue for weeks. Common symptoms include anxiety and nervousness. The effects on the body and health are long-term alcohol use increase your chance of bleeding from the stomach or esophagus, inflammation and damage to your pancreas, malnutrition, cancer of the esophagus, liver, colon, head, and neck. Drinking in excess can also make it harder to control high blood pressure.
Alcoholism, as mentioned before, is a problem that has not only affected the consumer, but also those close to them. In the world, about 3 million people die a year due to alcoholism. This number represents 5% of deaths in the world. A study was carried out in 2018 which says that most of these deaths are men. which represents 6.8%. But what are the countries that drink more alcohol? Well, they would be the United Kingdom, United States, and Canada. But the country with more alcoholism cases would be Moldavia. But let's focus on Mexico. In Mexico, a study was carried out and says that 45% of the students in high school drink alcohol. In high school, people from 15 or plus years keep drinking this substance without knowing the effects that it would have on their bodies. This could take them to different types of cancer, digestive disorders, but also in the psychological path, we could go with depression and anxiety. But how can we solve this? Well, my partner will tell you in a second.
Now, I'm going to give you some steps for you to talk with an alcoholic person. Step 1. Learn about alcohol use disorder. Alcoholism is more than just drinking from time to time. Step 2. Practice what you're going to say. Let the person know that you are available and that you care. Also, try to be positive. Step 3. Pick the right time and place. Have the conversation in a place where you know you have quiet and privacy. Step 4. Approach and listen with honesty and compassion. The best thing you can do is to be open and honest with them about it. Step 5. Offer your support. Realize that you can't force someone to go into treatment. What you can do is offer your help. It's up to them if they take it or not. Step 6. Intervene. This involves more planning. It involves giving consequences, sharing and presenting treatments. During this process, family and friends get together to confront the person. Now I'm going to give you some tips of things you should and shouldn't do in front of an alcoholic person. Don't drink around them. Don't provide financial support unless this is going to treatment. Be empathetic and be honest about your concerns.